Hi triathletes, welcome back to another session with TriathlontesSA, where today I'll be sharing with you guys how you can change your own inner tube, change your tire of your road bike if you want to use it on an indoor trainer, or how to plug a mountain bike tire. So stay tuned as I share some tips with you guys.
To accomplish something extraordinary, one must have an extraordinary dream. Ironman inspires us to reimagine our limits, to set our sights higher, to go farther than we ever have before. Ironman is a statement of excellence, passion, commitment. It is a test of physical toughness and mental strength. Ironman is about persevering, enduring, and being a part of something larger than ourselves. It shows the heights that can be achieved when we push beyond our boundaries and go the distance to earn the title Ironman.
Okay guys, before we start, I just want to give you guys some feedback regarding the virtual race that should have taken place on 28 and 29 March 2020. That was this previous weekend. I did not make an extra video for that as no participants participated in the virtual race. I know it was very short notice, it was less than a week, but hopefully with the race at the end of April, 25 and 26 April, we will get a lot of people participating in the virtual races. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go and check out the video of the virtual race on 25 and 26 April 2020. And remember, after you've completed your virtual race, remember to post the comments below that video or send me an email at triathlon.tessa@gmail.com. So let's dig into how to change your tube, how to change your tire, or how to plug a mountain bike tire. Okay guys, let's first start off. Say you're out on your ride and you've got a flat tire. What should you do? Let's first start by detaching the wheel. For that, you first need to open up your brakes over there. So open up your brakes and then loosen the quick release over there. So for that, you release it. For that, I'll just go to the front of the bike, pin it between my legs, and then just release. And once I'm done, I'll take the wheel out. Just remember, when you place your bike on the ground, that your drivetrain should be facing to the heavens. So I'll put the bike down. Okay, once you've detached your wheel, you need to loosen the valve over here. If you're new to triathlon and you haven't seen a road bike before, don't make the same mistake as I did previously. I thought that the valve would be the same as your car valve, so I could not get the air into my tire. So let me show you how. First, you need to twist this little valve here and then just push it so the air will flow out. Once all the air is deflated, you can start by changing your inner tube. I'll show you guys different methods that you guys can use to pump up your tires, but for changing the tube on the road bike, I'll just use a CO2 bomb and a CO2 adapter. Just make sure that you know the difference between the three different CO2 bombs. The big one's the 25 gram, that's for your mountain bike, so we won't be using that one. And then there's a little small one that's 10 gram. That's the one that we use to put into our air gun, so we're not going to use that one either. So for today, we'll just need the tire levers, CO2 adapter, and then the 16 gram that we're going to use on the road bike tire. So let's start. First, you need to find the valve and rotate that to the bottom. Next, we'll use our two levers. Then first, look for a spoke that will be on the outside, so you can clip the tire lever on top of that. I like to use both at once, so it will be a bit easier when I unplug the tire. So for that, I'll just take the two tire levers and then put them underneath there. So you guys can see, you just put them underneath the tire. So once you found your spot, you'll take both of them underneath, and then let's continue. Okay, now you've put the two in there and you find your spoke, and then you just need to twist both of them and click. Just make sure that it's clipped into your spoke. Then you'll see the other one has left you a little space, so it's very easy for you to take off the rest of the tires. Okay, so once you've done that, you can use the other tire lever and then just loosen the rest of your tire all the way around till you reach the other side. Then once your tire has completely been released, the next thing you need to do is you need to remove this little valve clip over here. So first remove this valve clip over there. Once you've unscrewed, it's much easier for you to take out your tire. So you can just dig in your fingers and then you can take out your tire. So once you've taken out the tire and you've reached the top side, just open it up so you can take out the whole valve as well. Then you can replace it with your new tire. I'll just be putting back the old one. Just make sure that before you put in the new tire that you just feel on the inside of the tire if there aren't anything stuck that might pinch your wheel again. Then you need to find the valve hole again. Once you've located the valve hole, before I insert my new inner tube into my wheel, I'll just put some air into this new tube so it's much easier for me to put it on the inside and I know there's no tangling. So first put in some air. And now you'll see I can see the shape of my tube. So then I'll find the valve hole. First put the valve on the inside. Before I put in the rest of the inner tube, I'll put the screw back in. So screw it on the valve so it holds it in place. Then after you've done that, you can put in your inner tube. So for that, just open it up and then it will go in much easier if there's a little bit of air inside the tube. So once you've gone all the way around, just make sure that you don't pinch it anywhere, otherwise you might have a hole on the inside. Now that we've put our inner tube on the inside, the next thing we need to do is we need to put back the outer layer. So for this, I'll show you guys a little tip. If you stand like this and you hold the wheel next to your hips, it's much easier to put it back in. So first, find that valve again, and then that's where you will start by just using your fingers. So first, you'll put it in there, and then just make sure that it's nicely stuck in there, and then you'll move all the way around, and then just do this with your fingers to make sure that the tension is even all over. So we'll go all the way around till we reach the halfway mark. Just make sure that you don't pinch the tire anywhere. Once you've reached the halfway mark, you'll just turn it the other way, and then we'll use the last half. Just make sure your tire is still on the inside. Now for the moment of truth. Would it be possible to just put it in with my fingers? Last one. There we go. Tires all the way in. So once you've done that, we'll use the CO2 to fill it up. The first thing you need to do is make sure that the CO2 adapter is closed. You'll see there's a small space that says open and close. So I'll just make sure that it's closed. Once it's closed, I'll put it onto my bike. Once you found the spot, just close it all the way to the top. Once it's inside, we'll use our CO2 bomb. Put the CO2 bomb in, and you'll hear a small click. Once you put in the CO2, just remember to open it up, and then it will inflate your tire. Once you're done, you can just close the valve again, and remember not to touch it with your hands, and then just release the small CO2 again. Once you're done, you just need to remember to tighten the valve tip again, and then close the valve at the bottom, and then I'll just put back the cap again. Then once you're done, you need to put it back on your bike. So for that, let's get back to our bike. Just remember that when you put your wheel back on your bike, that the self-release would be on the side of the drivetrain. So we'll put our wheel back on the inside. Then once you put your wheel back, you can tighten the lock nut again. Just remember to close your brakes again. Before you lock the wheel again, I like to press the front brake, which would be your left one, and that will just spread the tension evenly. So I'll grab my brake, and then I'll close the lock. And then something to remember, if you want to take out your back wheel, before you take out your back wheel, make sure that the chain is at the bottom of the cassette at the back. It's not at the bottom, quickly change it. So you can take it all the way down, and then just use your feet to take it all the way to the bottom. And then it's much easier to get the chain off and on again. And that's it. Now you can get back on the road, and you know how to change your inner tube when you get a flat on a training ride or in a race. So stay tuned as I show you guys next how to plug a mountain bike tire, and then after that how you can change the complete tire and put on your indoor trainer tire. And lastly, stay tuned for some tips at the end. I'll show you guys some tips that you guys can use during a race as well as in training. Say you're out in your long ride with your mountain bike that has tubeless tires and you've got a flat along the way. How do you fix that? For that, I'll be using a hand pump. Just make sure that you have a double action pump that will pump when you pull out and then when you push back in again. And then you'll need two small tools. The one would be to plug a hole and the other one would be to put the glue on the inside. And then you can buy a small case like this that will show you the small plugs. So there's two different ones, small ones and big ones. Depending on the size of the hole, you need to plug them with one of these. Just make sure that they're still sticky before you plug them. For today's purposes, I'll just re-plug one of my old holes, but usually when you get some kind of hole within your mountain bike, you'll see some white fluid spitting out of the wheel. So then you'll know that there's a hole. If it's not big enough, then the sealant will seal it. But if you maybe struck something big, you will see some sealant pouring out there. So let's start. Okay, first off, you'll need to take one of these plugs and then open it up. It will be a bit sticky. So once you found one of them, you need to take them out. You need to put that on the inside of the one with the two holes. So let's put that on the inside. Once you've put that on the inside, just pull it through so it's halfway through, and then you can just put it to the side so it will look like this. Then after that, you can use the plug, make the hole a bit bigger, and then you need to be quick to put this back inside. So now you'll see some air coming out, and then I'll put the plug. Just make sure that it goes all the way through to the bottom, and if there's a small little bit sticking out still, then you can just pull out your screwdriver again, and then you'll see there's two little pieces sticking out. You can just take those and then just put it to the side a little bit so that it's not in the way. But just make sure that there's a little bit sticking out, otherwise it might not seal your tire completely. So after that, we'll use our hand pump. Then let's first find the valve. Take off the cap. Once you've opened up, you can put in your hand pump. Then when you pushed it in, just remember to open up the tab at the bottom so you can start pumping. And then the double action pump should pump your tire much easier than only a normal hand pump. So once your tire is inflated with air, take out your hand pump and then close the valve again. And that's how you would plug a mountain bike tire. Next up, I'll show you how to change your tire so you can put on your indoor trainer tire and use that indoors while we're stuck with lockdown. So stay tuned. For this last one, I'll just be using the wheel to show you guys. This is actually the wheel that I took off my bike of the one that's on the indoor trainer. I have a direct drive, so I had to take off the cassette as well. For those of you guys that do not have an extra cassette to put onto your direct drive trainer, there's two tools that you guys can use to take off the cassette and then put that onto your direct drive trainer, and then you don't need to buy an extra cassette for that. So let's start by removing the tire. First off, once again, find the cap, remove that, and then open up the valve, deflate the tire. Once the tire is deflated, you can loosen the valve at the top. For this, we'll only need the two tire levers and then your indoor trainer tire. To pump up this tire, we'll use a pressure pump. So I'll show you guys 3 different ways that you can pump up your tires. So once again, put the valve to the bottom. Once you've inserted the tire levers, you can just pull it over and then lock it onto your spoke. Once you've locked it onto your spoke, you can take the other one and then insert it a little bit further. Now we can go all the way around and then just remove the tire. So once you've gone all the way around and removed the outer layer, next up we need to take out the inner tube. So first find your valve again, take out your inner tube. Once you've taken out the whole inner tube, once you've reached the valve area, just open it up so it's much easier for you to take out the valve. So now you just have your tire. The only thing you need to do is just push it over. Now you have separated your tire from your wheel. Then you can take your indoor trainer tire, which would be a blue one or a white one or a green one, and put that on top the same way I'll be putting back my normal tire. So first off, make sure that the one side of the tire is inside the rim, and then just do that all the way around, making sure that the one side is over the rim. And then the last part would be a bit difficult. So for that, you can either use your fingers or you can use your tire lever and then just pull it all over. So now the one side is all over. and then we can just put on the other side. But before we do that, we need to replace our inner tube again. So find your valve area, first put in the valve. And for those of you guys that have the dip section wheels, just make sure that the valve length is the right length. So once you put it in, secure it back with the valve cap. Before you put in the rest of your tire, just make sure that there's a little bit of air inside, so it's much easier to put it back inside. So once you've secured your tube on the inside, we can start putting it back on again. So once again, you can stand up like this and then just put it on the inside of your hip. So first start off with the valve area, then put the tire in and make sure that it's nicely in, and use your fingers to make sure that the tension is the same all over. So once you've reached halfway, you can turn the wheel around and then do the other side. And for this one, we'll use the tire lever, as the dip sections are a bit difficult to put them back with your fingers alone. So we'll put them in with the tire lever, and there we go. Now we just need to pump up our wheel. For that, we're going to use the pressure pump. So first find your valve, just make sure that the valve is tightened, then put in your pressure pump, make sure the valve is open. So we'll just pump up the tire to about 5 bars, but you guys can go and check out on the website what is the correct pressure for your tire. We'll just open it up, take it out, close the valve, and remember to replace the cap again. And now you can put the wheel back onto your bike and use your indoor trainer tire instead of using your normal tires for indoor training. Okay guys, and as promised, I'll share some tips with you guys. So first off, I would suggest investing in a good quality tire, as that would go a long way. You would get much more mileage on it, the same as with running shoes, and you would also get less punctures if you have a good quality tire. And then next up, you can also put some sealant into your tires. Yes, there's different types of sealants out there. You can get your mountain bike sealants. Just make sure that you refill with the same sealant every time, as some of the sealants don't work well together and then it will just turn into a big snot ball. So make sure that you know which sealant your local bike shop is using, so that you use the exact same one after that. If you want something for a road bike, I have these Conti sealants. I've put them into my racing bikes and I've never had it flat again. So this is also very nice if you want to put into your road bike to not get any punctures along the way. Something relatively new on the market is called Drop. You can use this in your mountain bike or in your road bike. It's like a sealant and a CO2 bomb that got married to each other. So it's very nice and very easy to use and very safe. And then you don't need to use a CO2 bomb as well. Then lastly, some tips on what I take with me out on a race. You don't need much. I like to have a spare inner tube, so if I have a puncture I can change that. And for that you'll need tire levers as well as 2 CO2 bombs and a CO2 adapter. It's just much quicker in a race using CO2 adapters. Then I'll also have 1 or 2 cable ties put in the back of my jersey, so if something goes wrong I can cable tie it, and that might help me to get to the next maintenance station. Then lastly, a small multi-tool that will also help you if you need to fix a small thing when you're out on a training ride or in a race. It doesn't take up a lot of space, but will save you precious time when you're out there and you need to fix something. And that's it for today, you guys. Also like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you guys are more than welcome to join my Instagram and Facebook on TriathlontesSA. The website is up and running, so you can go and check it out at www.triathlontessa.com, or drop me an email at triathlon.tessa@gmail.com. So keep up the training and stay motivated. So when races outside are back on again, you're on top of your training and you're ready for that first race. So see you guys soon.